if you support Tinubu publicly, online, but deep down in your heart, you know that what Tinubu is doing for Nigeria, his policies are wrong. You know it. But because of what you have collected, because of the money they have promised you, you come out to publicly defend and support the harsh policies of Tinubu. God Almighty will punish you. Yes, you. If you truly believe in your heart of heart that Tinubu is doing well, you honestly think so, you have a right to your opinion. I have no issues with you. Enjoy the money you get. Enjoy whatever benefits you're getting. No issues. If truly it is because you are convinced that Tinubu is doing well for Nigeria. But you see, for those of you that know that he is not doing well, but because of what you think you will get, you are now coming publicly to defend him, that money will turn to paper in your pocket. If you use that money to buy food, before you eat it, that food will turn to stone. If you have eaten it, it will turn to stone in your stomach. You know why? You people are the problem of this country. You are the one giving morale. You are the one giving hope to Tinubu that money can buy everything. You are more dangerous than Tinubu himself. So, I pray for you. I send this prayer to you. May it hit your email. May it hit your bank account. As I have prayed. Look, all the things that are happening with the NYSC Youth Corp, with the arrest of people like C. King, Dele Farotimi, all the things that are happening with Very Dark Man versus Mercy Chinwo versus Easy T, all of these things, look at what we saw. Just when we thought that, okay, the action of the Air Force-based personnel in Ikeja against the Ikeja Electricity Distribution Company was a mistake. Not up to a week or 2 weeks after, we have another one from Eko. All of these, they are an indication of lack of respect for the rule of law. And to heighten it all, we saw the declaration of emergency in Rivers State. Yes, the president has the power to declare a state of emergency. But that does not give him the power to suspend the governor or the State House of Assembly. It doesn't. He cannot say the proclamation takes effect immediately unless he first of all transmits that proclamation to the National Assembly for ratification. It is after then that the proclamation can take effect and then be gazetted. But he didn't do that. Before he transmits the proclamation to the National Assembly, he has already said it takes effect immediately and that it has been gazetted. That is not following due process. And before we know it, he's telling us that he has suspended the state governor. An action that he himself argued against in 2013, 2014, when Jonathan declared a state of emergency in Yobe, Borno, and Adamawa. Jonathan did not suspend the governors in that state of emergency. And that was because Jonathan, first of all, called for a Council of State meeting where he had proper consultation. That was where governors like Governor Nyako of Adamawa, Governor Shetima, this same Kashim, Vice President Shetima now, he was the governor of Borno then, and then Gaidam was the governor of Yobe. They had wind that the president is thinking about declaring a state of emergency. And so they protested. And Jonathan, in his wisdom, did what the Constitution prescribed. Since the Constitution did not say that declaring state of emergency means suspending the governor, he didn't do that. He declared a state of emergency in Borno, declared a state of emergency in Yobe, declared a state of emergency in Adamawa, while their governors were still in place. And at the time, the violence, the terrorism that was taking place in the Northeast then, is it anything to compare with what happened in Rivers, where it's just an argument between one of his employees, Wike, and the governor? Is it anything compared to that? So you have a vice president who was governor when Jonathan declared his own state of emergency, and Jonathan did not suspend him. That governor is now vice president today, and the vice president could not remind Tinubu of their arguments at the time. The arguments of the APC, that declaring state of emergency does not mean suspending the governor. They could not. Whoever says APC is a respecter of the rule of law or democracy, you don't like this country, or you're just a pure sycophant. All of this boils down to the rule of law. If you look or cast your mind back to what those army officers did, those Air Force officers did, because we're not paying a lot of attention to it now. Some of you were excited because you had grievances with the discos. I have grievance with the discos. I've had very crazy experiences with the discos. But you see, I took legal action against them. I followed legally prescribed channel to seek redress. What the Air Force officers did is against the Constitution. 8 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they broke in carrying out that action. They cannot just come and say sorry and go. If we don't force them to respect the rule of law, they'll do it again. And what am I even saying? They have done it again. First, it was the Air Force. Now is the Army. The Army that we were praising, that they behaved very professionally the first time, having come to the rescue of the staff of Ikeja Disco. But it's the same army, maybe another battalion, that came and carried out the second beating. In fact, I think what we should be saying now, or what they are trying to remind us now, is that as military, them they beat. You remember we they beat? But it's not a laughing matter. We cannot continue to allow disrespect for the rule of law in this country. We must contribute our quota to stop disrespect for the rule of law. Are there things that we can do as citizens? Yes. We can write petitions, which we shall do. And after writing the petitions, if the required agencies, the security agencies or anti-corruption agencies, if they do not take action, we go to court to get an order of mandamus to compel them to take action. If after the order of mandamus they still don't take action, we go to court and institute contempt of court proceedings against the officers in charge of those agencies. And after that, we go to court again, seek special fiat to prosecute the people ourselves. And then we go to the international agencies if they don't take action, if they don't show, if they feel that they are above the law. We report them to the embassies. We report them to International Criminal Court. We report them to the United Nations. This is how to go. And while we are doing all of this, media attention. We can't just sit down and say Nigeria is gone and do nothing. That is what they want us to believe. Nigeria is gone, but we are still suffering the hardship that the policies of Tinubu throws at us. So if we are not all dead in Nigeria yet, even if it is only a few of us that are still breathing, Nigeria is not gone. So far as these injustices remain, we must rise up against them by taking advantage of all of these things that I have mentioned. Let's take action. But ultimately, we cannot depend on these people to fix the country. They are benefiting from it. So it is not in their best interest to fix it. So we have to organize. Organize behind a political party like Abundance Party of Nigeria. That's the only way to level the political playing field, because the party is built on strong ideologies. The party is built with a strong constitution. with clearly stated punishment for breach of those ideologies. If we had a party like Abundance Party in Rivers State, those 27 lawmakers would have been dealt with quick. If they came out to say they have defected, and then later they came to say they have not defected, with what we all saw with our eyes, with the affidavit that they swore and then later retracted, with the APC flag that they waved, with the acceptance into the APC that Tinubu made in open glare on national TV before all Nigerians, with all of those, what again do you call anti-party activities? But of course, when you have a political party like PDP with a weak constitution that is made up of strong individuals and weak institutions, what do you have? No action. It is because the party has weak constitutions and weak ideologies. If it was an abundance party in Rivers, we would have called those 27 lawmakers. Since they say they did not defect, they will come and face our disciplinary committee. And we'll play them the video, the evidence, and all of those actions. And whatever their response is, because they are entitled to fair hearing, we will now wield the big stick and give them the punishment due to them. Expulsion from the party. And once that is done, following due process with respect for the rule of law, we go to court to declare their seats vacant. Then after having done that, we go to INEC to conduct election and elect fresh set of lawmakers. This is the legal way to go. If only they had a strong party like the Abundance Party in Rivers. This is why we must create it, because right now, a party like Abundance does not exist. All the 19 political parties, they don't have the ideologies that Abundance Party has. Yet, we need those ideologies. We need that strong constitution. We need Abundance Party. Will it be easy? No. Is it impossible? No. Very, very possible. We need it. So, please, link in the description. Check it out. Join us. Let us work together to create the level playing field. Every Nigerian. You see that young NYSC lady that is complaining about her finances, the hardship that the Tinubu administration has thrown on her? That lady should be able to run for office. But you know what? In her current state, can she run for councillor in a local government? By the time she gets to any of the political parties that we have now, the first stumbling block is expression of interest and nomination form fees. By the time they tell you bring 5 million, you'll be discouraged. This is how they chase away credible candidates. If you don't know, please know it now. Don't say, oh, we don't need another party. We do. Because the parties that we have right now, there is none that will accommodate the likes of that young NYSC core member. None. So we have to work together to create it. But first of all, but lastly, let's not forget, continue to speak out against the unlawful, the lack of adherence or respect for the rule of law or following due process to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. And the fact that you don't have to suspend the governor to declare a state of emergency. What is happening in Rivers is not as much as what happened in the Northeast during the time of Jonathan. And in any case, you say, oh, there was a pipeline blast, explosion. It is your responsibility to mobilize security forces to go and take care of it. Now, we have had another blast in Bayelsa. Are you also going to declare a state of emergency in Bayelsa? Make una dey fear God, oh.